Gavin and Jeremy, well, I'm sure y'all already met. James already met.
Him?
Yeah, James.
Yeah, I've been talking to him from the beginning.
The four.
Yeah. Oh no, it has stuff on it.
See if you can, well, I don't know. Quabena, what size is your jacket?
You look like you're outside, so I feel like you're that outside. You
Okay.
just walk to the industry,
Okay.
and then we'll do that.
Okay. That's
Shouldn't have been doing all that twerking, that pop, lock, and dropping. That's nice. I'm so sorry.
Are y'all all models?
Yes. Before the F State, I had several different experiences. I worked a lot in retail. I had over 19 years of management experience in retail. I've been every single role from like a sales associate to a sales lead to an assistant manager to a merchandiser to a store manager, playing different roles. I even did a little bit of leasing. I was a leasing consultant for a while with one of my best friends, Garen. That was an experience towards the end of us leaving. We're still friends today, still my best friend. We survived that. So that's who I was before the F State, and a person that I've always been passionate about fashion. What inspired me to do fashion was the magazines when I was growing up, just flipping through the pages and looking at the enamoring pictures and just being enamored by the great images and what I saw and wanting to be a part of that and creating that. It's the thing that I love the most about magazines and the fashion industry is just the imagery behind it and the transition and the change and wanting to aspire to be that and do that. So I decided down my journey and pathway of eventually leaving the leasing consulting space, going back into retail, and I had worked for a young lady who was at one point in time my assistant, and now she was my store manager, and I was going to be her assistant. However, the shoe fit a little differently on the other foot, and just because we just had different viewpoints, and I'm a person that is very much do what you say you're gonna do and be an example. And unfortunately, that individual, while a great individual, did not lead by example. It was more of do what I say, not necessarily do what I do. And that utterly disturbs my soul. Even to this day, I don't really deal well with hypocrisy. So like, that's who I was before. But, you know, jumping back into it, I decided that I really was still unhappy because I was like, look, I eventually got fired from that job and I was unhappy. And I said, look, there's gotta be something out there that's more for me. There's gotta be something that's better for me. And so I took a leap of faith. I quickly landed on my feet and got another job because I'd been in retail in a long time and had friends in other places. So I got another job quickly, but still wasn't satisfied and decided to reach out to a producer of a fashion show. And that particular producer, when I emailed him, initially didn't see my email, but the assistant producer saw my email and explained to the producer, like, hey, you gotta take a look at this email because it was so well written. The lead producer took a lead at it, gave me a phone call. We had over a 3-hour long conversation about my aspirations, about what I wanted to do in the industry, what I aspired to be. After that conversation, they brought me onto that particular production. It was called Insta Runway. It was an all-black designer cast, which like is unheard of. The super cool thing is like all the designers that we had for that particular casting and fashion show were not well known at the time, but they are all very well known now, like Laquan Smith, Ezra, Rico Chappelle of the House of Chappelle, 531 Jerome, Koto Mamalu was also a designer as well. And so all of these, great designers, like I said at the time, who no one knew are really well known now. So to be a part of that experience and that history is really, really great. And that was just me. That was the first time that I decided to take like a leap of faith and a jump out there. So a time in my life that defined who I am now was when I was 21 years old. I was raped. And so that heavily, unbeknownst to me, weighed heavily deep on me. I did not tell anyone about it for the longest of time. I just pretty much kept it internally. I didn't tell my mom, my dad, not even my best friend. And that was something that I carried around for the longest of time. The effects of how that weighed on me is insecurity and not feeling very safe. And so it was very hard for me to trust people. And the craziest thing is that although I've always been a loving, caring person and everyone's always seen that in me and known that of me, it also was very distant from other people and very sheltered. And so even though I was oftentimes admitting this sort of type of love for everyone else and being able to give that to everyone else, I did not have that for myself because of that experience. And so I didn't trust a lot of people. I've gone through lots of different experiences because I didn't trust people, made some bad choices because I didn't trust people, and having had that experience weigh heavily on me. But having grown from that experience and gone from all the things that I've been through and gone through, it definitely made me a better person. It made me better able and capable of understanding other people and having empathy for other people for the things that they go through and being able to understand their life journeys. And even sometimes what I don't understand, just understanding that even in those moments, in the most difficult moments, that people need love and that we need to be able to reach out to them and to talk to them, and that we can always speak a positive word or a positive voice because we never know what that other person or individual is going through. So I always try to make my best efforts to be intentional about being kind and considerate to other people and other individuals because of my experiences with suicidal depression, with having been sexually assaulted, at 21. One of the things I always thought was, because I felt like I placed myself in a bad situation, so for a long time I even blamed myself. And I had to come to a space and place to realize that no matter what the situation was, that wasn't something that I deserved, that wasn't something that should have happened to me, and I shouldn't blame myself for the actions of someone else. I think love is so beautiful because there's so many different shades to love, and whether it's familial love from a brother or a mother or a father, whether it is relationship. I have yet to be successful in that category, but I have seen it at work and it is absolutely beautiful. So I think love is the most beautiful thing in the world, and I think that love reaches a majority of people. I think it reaches everyone. It doesn't matter who you are, your race, your creed, your sex, your gender, religion. And it's so important that we all understand the message of love and understand each other. Whether or not we necessarily have the same concept or agree with each other doesn't matter. It's about really trying to understand each other and get in each other's thought process and accept each other as we are and just growing together. As long as we're alive, we have the ability to live and to grow further. So that's the most beautiful thing to me, is love. My name is Ezra Jones, and this is Sing.